Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 198. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Jade. Cody's back from Hawaii.
Yeah, back from Hawaii. I missed you, buddy. It's been like 2 whole weeks.
I know.
I was gone, and then you were gone, and we were gone.
I know. I wanted to record, but it like the week before I was leaving and you were leaving, and it just wouldn't have worked out. And I looked into getting in like a co-host for that week that you were away, but I ended up having to do a bunch of stuff for me going away, and it just didn't really work out. So
yeah, we only missed one, so it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I heard you guys had a good show last week, so that's good.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks, big thank you to Teacup for showing up and helping me out.
Teacup.
He's been on the show in spirit so many times, so through our stories.
Yeah,
mentioned
exactly.
Almost on a weekly basis, so, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I think he was
good to finally get him on the show.
I think he was a little nervous and scared at first, but...
slide into it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just BS. It's just BS, and that's all we do around here.
Exactly.
Welcome, everybody. If you've never been here before, we get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like, primarily video games, a bunch of random BS. And yeah, of course, housekeeping. Join us on the Discord server. Our Discord server is quite active with a few different chats going on at all times. It's good times. Any browser, bit.ly/gap-discord. That's all lowercase, Gap Discord will get you into the action where we usually take this show offline. And of course, right off the top, hey, if you've got Apple, iPhone, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or any place that this podcast can be rated and reviewed, definitely don't forget to do that. Share us, because that helps us grow, and with the the magic of the logarithms of the internet, the more places we are, the better. With that out of the way, we are knee deep in our BS section, and then we get into some what you've been playing, talk about some news and stuff, our public service announcements, and free for all section. So you were in Hawaii. It was amazing.
Hell yeah.
What more can be said? You sent me a picture of Dole Whip.
I got Dole Whip.
Yeah. I had my Dole Whip.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, shit. I haven't even talked to you. You were in California. How was your trip?
I know. We talked.
Disneyland was great, I assume?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Awesome.
It was a good time.
Sweet.
It was a good trip.
Yeah, no, Hawaii was great. We went to the Big Island. I'd been to Oahu a few times. So this was new for my wife and I. We hadn't been to the Big Island before, so that was cool. We went and saw the volcano, which was big. And
volcano!
No liquid hot magma happening right now.
Is that the one that was the island that had all the shit last year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we saw a bunch of that shit.
Wasn't there literally like new beaches that like formed?
We actually put our toes on a brand new black sand beach, only 9 months old, still had that new beach smell. Yeah.
What's that, like burned bodies and ashes?
Smelled kind of like the rest of the island. It just had a brand new black sand beach. So, yeah, no, like we were driving down the one road, and like it just kind of ended because there was a giant lava flow that had, like, there was barricades up saying like you can't go any further, and when you look past it, it was just a giant thing of lava, like 10 feet tall. It was just across the road, and you're just like, all right, well, I'm not going that way. So like turned around and drove the other way.
It's like FU road.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and
did that like cut anyone off, or was it just an area where? Yeah,
no, there was like a whole bunch of people. It was funny. We were talking to this one lady, and she was saying, I guess she couldn't get home, like she couldn't get back to her house for like almost 4 months after the eruption had happened, because like the lava flow and like the ruptures and stuff had actually, the fissures, I guess, had actually like blocked off all the roads and whatnot. So it took her a while to be able to get back to her house. Yeah, no, we went kind of exploring. We literally did an entire loop around the island by the end of our trip. So we like started in Kona and we literally drove all the way around the island. We did a full loop, so we saw everything. And then it's funny because we actually like cut through the middle at one point and saw another area of the island. So yeah, we saw a lot. But at one point, yeah, it was funny. We got that stopped our journey, so we turned around and we went another way because we were trying to get to one location that we thought might be kind of cool. We didn't really know if anything was there necessarily to see, but we thought there might be something cool there. And it turns out that we weren't actually able to kind of get where we wanted to go because lava. But where sort of, but where like the one road kind of ended because of the lava, was at like a park. And we like drove down the road and we went to this park and it had like this giant black sand beach that had just,
but
like, it's more formed.
It's more rocky, right? Like it's not black sand. It's like rocks.
Well, part of the beach was like totally sandy. Like you could totally like enjoy it. Like it was great. And part of the beach, I would say probably half of the beach, maybe a little more than half of the beach, was like bigger rocks that still hadn't been, ground down into actual sand yet. But
yeah,
like,
I guess because
it was surprising.
That kind of rock is different, eh?
Yeah.
Like it's volcanic. It's all super light. I guess it's more brittle, right?
It's a lot of it is actually like when you pick them up, it's got like air bubbles and stuff in them, right? Like it's that whole like lava rock. You can see like where it cooled and like the air escaped out of the rock and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I don't know, like it was crazy because we were there about 9-10 months after, I guess, the eruption. Well, almost a year, I guess, since last year.
Yeah, because it was for months. I remember in the news, like
it went on for a while. It was like a month or whatever. But yeah, it was pretty wild just because like we looked at before pictures of like that park and there was like a boat launch and there wasn't any beach. It was just kind of like rocks and stuff. And it was kind of an area where like the locals would go and like launch your boat into the ocean. And maybe like there was like a kind of a little bit of a dock there. So you could kind of jump off into like the water but there wasn't like a beach or anything there. Mm-hmm. There was like a big grassy area and like picnic tables and stuff like that. And then like when we got there, it was just like this giant black sand beach. We're just like, holy shit. So like that was pretty cool.
Dock still there?
Yeah, it just went into like a beach essentially. Like it was kind of funny. So all that was really cool. Like I said, we spent a night up at the volcano. We went for like a hike and stuff in the morning.
And the weather was good.
Yeah, weather was great. There was like these crazy steam vents. So we're like walking along and like there's literally like steam coming up underneath the ground, like all around you. And like it was warm, which is pretty wild. You're just like, shit, like there's fucking lava down there making the water hot and shooting it out here. So that was pretty cool. Hit some like really nice beaches. We got some friends that are there, so we like hung out with them for a couple of days. And then they kind of came around with us for another few days. Ate like tons of great food. Like I said, stayed in like a whole bunch of different cities. There's a place, we had breakfast at this one place called Hawaiian Style in a town of Waimea, and like pancakes as big as my head. They're just awesome. They're huge, man. The breakfast there was just massive. It was so good.
I love Hawaii. I miss it.
The Big Island is crazy. I didn't realize like it's insane because like part of the island is a desert more or less. Like it's super dry.
Yeah, they have their dry sides and then they have their jungle sides.
Yeah, like it was wild. Like just the amount of different like ecosystems. Like somebody was saying that I think there's more like micro ecosystems on that island than anywhere else in the world. Like you can drive pretty much 2 hours and either be in a desert or in a rainforest or on like a big kind of rolling hills with, or you could be at the top of the mountain where there is no trees, there's no nothing. You're above the alpine level where nothing grows. Or you could be down on a tropical beach. Like it's wild on that island.
Yeah.
How dramatic it changes.
Hawaii's awesome.
Like in the one day we literally drove from a desert to a beautiful kind of rolling hills, kind of pasture lands, into like the thick ass rainforest.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it's just, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when we were in Maui, we went through an area like that, and like, holy cow, like this is insane. Like no one, like it was on one side of the island, like no one lived there.
Right.
It was just
that's
like
the funny thing on the Big Island, like the desert side. That's where all the nice beaches are. So it's funny, like, so all the nice like beaches are over on the desert side, kind of, and like, yeah, it's pretty interesting. No, the Big Island's really cool though. It's got such a different vibe.
Oh, it's super chill there.
It's so much different than the other islands that I've been on.
Oh, especially Oahu. Oahu's like the tourist trap, highest population, traffic jams.
Yeah, so like that was, I don't know. I kind of felt like when you see a lot of the kind of old school Hawaii on like TV or in movies and stuff, like that's a lot more of like what the Big Island is all about.
Yeah.
Like it's super chill. It's just everybody's kind of on island time. There's no real, like, even the quote unquote biggest city is not very big at all. Like the entire population of the whole island is only like 180,000 or something like that. So it's like and it's the biggest island, which is kind of funny. So but no, we had a blast. It was great. Last couple of days were just really chill, which was really nice before we kind of had to go home.
Yeah, super depressing having to go home.
Like, I don't know. I like that, but I love going there as a vacation. I think my wife would love to move there. I'm not, like, I don't know. I'm not sold necessarily on the idea, just because, like, I love going there as a vacation, and it's a vacation feel. It's a total
grass is greener.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Eating out every day,
totally
getting
like,
waited on at hotels.
Yeah, and it's
like it's not real life.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like if I was to move there, it would kind of be the same thing that happens here. It's just that I'm 3 hours behind everybody else, and
I don't know. I think
it's hot all the time.
I think I could put up with my norm being Hawaii.
Yeah.
If I had no family, that's my problem. I have such deep roots here.
Oh, for sure.
It's like there's so many places. Like I'd love to live in New York. I'd love to live in LA. I'd love to live in Hawaii. Like I just have these alter egos or like different versions of Rick that want to live in these cities.
You're right.
But it's like
you have a wife and a family.
But I have a wife, a mortgage, parents, siblings, and like we're all here. So it's like, to just up and go is like kind of like just like telling everyone in my life, see you later, fuck off, I'm out of here, peace.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
that's awesome.
But no, it was cool, man. We did a coffee tasting one day where we like went up into the coffee plantations and like tasted some really great coffee. Yeah. So like I said, we kind of,
it's really good.
It's really good, but it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Like, as a coffee connoisseur, I don't think that it's as good as how expensive it is. How's that?
It is pretty pricey.
Like, for a bag that we buy here for like $15, they're charging $40 American for this, and it's actually a smaller bag. Like that's
what?
That's painful. Like that's painful.
Yeah.
Like I get that it's like these micro plantations and they're only growing so much of it and so on and so forth. Like I understand why,
produced.
But it's like, man, we buy organic, awesome coffee from a local coffee like place, and it's kind of pricey, but it's nowhere near that pricey.
it ain't Kona crazy pricing.
No. So, but it was still fun. It was still cool. So
you're back to reality.
Yep.
Have you
back at work?
What have you been playing,
dude? I've been playing nothing. That's
nice.
That's the thing. Like
that's all right.
Yeah, I played a whole bunch of Division 2 and stuff before I left. I don't really know if we'd had kind of a chance to talk about it on this show. Yeah, I think it had kind of come out on our last show. Like it had just sort of come out. So.
Yeah, we had it for like a day or two.
Yeah,
I had it, and I think maybe you didn't have it yet because I had the super early version.
Yeah, so I mean, like I've had a chance to play a bit more of that. On the obviously the weekend, kind of since the before I recorded or before you recorded last, the week that we kind of missed or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What level are you?
I'm like level 8. 8.
Okay. I hit level 15 my last play session.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
in game. I've been saving it to play with Teacup. So like,
Oh, okay.
I'm only playing it with him. I'm not really playing it solo. But I
Right.
also got another like addiction that's probably limited why I haven't played as much.
Okay.
Also, that game's a lot better when you play with other people.
I'm
As
getting
is
that
every
feeling. I'm getting that feeling. I've been playing it pretty much solo so far, so.
Yeah, solo, I just feel like I'm just like checking boxes, going to the places and killing the guys, and it's fine, it's good, it's excellent, it's more division.
Right.
But like, I just find it more rewarding when I'm playing with someone else, or more entertaining even, so.
Oh yeah, for sure, I could see that. It's funny because I just had started getting out of the area that was kind of outside of the betas. Finally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like the theater area and stuff.
Yeah, like I've just sort of started pushing down into some of that
south.
other stuff and whatnot. Yeah, so it's like I said, it's funny. I packed my Switch. I thought, I preloaded a bunch of stuff on myself, like on my phone or on my Switch, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have all this time traveling. I'm gonna like play a whole bunch of video games. It's gonna be great. And then like on our flight down there, it was super early in the morning when we left here because we had to like our first flight was at like 6 a.m. And so like I watched some TV and stuff, and I tried to sleep a bit. And then when we got to San Francisco, we had like a 3-hour layover there. So it was like we did the stuff where you eat some food and wander around a bit in the airport and try and get a bit more sleep. And then on the way back, we had like the red eye, and it was just like, I can't sleep on airplanes.
No, it's so uncomfortable.
My wife,
the worst.
I'm always in the middle because my wife she gets the window seat. I take the middle. And then, whoever it is beside me, they get the aisle. So like she was sleeping away. I actually just started reading some comic books, which we could totally get into under the free-for-all. But that's pretty much like I kind of got into that, and I don't know, I didn't have that like desire to like pull my Switch out and play anything. I just kind of got into my comics, and like that's kind of what happened.
I played a bunch of travel gaming. I played a bunch of Smash on the plane on the way there, on the way back on our trip.
That's a good idea.
I managed to beat the World of Light on Smash Brothers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was just going through classic mode, trying to beat it with every character, but I don't think I'm even halfway through that. I still really like that game, and I started Undertale.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I haven't played enough to really have anything to say about that.
Fair enough.
But what I did play over the last, I guess, week or so now.
Yeah, it's been out for
I guess I got it
about a week.
after we recorded. So yeah, Sekiro I've been playing on PC.
Shadows Die Twice.
Oh boy.
How's it run on your PC?
It
was
runs
reading
fantastic.
Okay, because I was seeing some stuff like where
it doesn't play ultra wide, so
it's a little bit annoying.
It's like, yeah.
But yeah, no, somebody I was talking to, or somebody on Twitter had a video, and it was like really hitchy on their PC, and
not mine.
They tried everything to try and smooth it out, and like they couldn't, and they ended up playing it I think on PS4, and it wasn't doing it there.
No, it's fantastic. It's like 60 FPS. It's silky smooth.
Awesome.
And like everything's turned on. Yeah. I don't know if ultra wide would degrade my performance more with the little extra added resolution. I doubt it. But
yeah.
Anyway, so Sekiro is From Software's next newest game. I'd say next game in the Souls-like, but the only thing that makes it a Souls-like is that it's hard.
Made by From Software.
And it's made by From Software. That's kind of where the similarities end. Well, I guess like the world, environmental and world storytelling, weird characters, and tons of secrets. Of course, shares that as well. But when it comes from actual gameplay, besides the fact that it's third person, it is quite different.
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing it's almost more like a cross between Tenchu and Ninja Gaiden.
I can't honestly remember Tenchu to have a comparison, but
oh man,
you've got
so much Tenchu.
You've got stealth and stealth kills.
Which is funny because Tenchu was actually made by From Software back in the day. So
I played Tenchu, but I just can't remember it. I remember liking it, but that's all I can remember. It's so long ago because that was like PS1, wasn't it?
PS1 and PS2, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you're a ninja,
right?
Or a shinobi,
samurai.
You basically only have a sword.
Yeah.
It's all about parrying and countering attacks.
Yep.
Literally, you can just sit there and block, and there's a system called posture.
Yep.
So you've got posture damage, and then you have your health.
Is that kind of like a stance a little bit?
Well, I don't know if there's different stances. I haven't unlocked any yet, but I don't know if there are any. But basically, your posture when you're guarding, if your posture bar gets filled up from too much posture damage, you'll lose balance and be off, knocked off your footing and opened up for a death blow attack.
Oh, okay.
So
that seems bad.
So if an enemy isn't blocking and getting like health damage from your attacks, if they're blocking your stuff, you'll do a little bit of posture damage with each hit. But of course, they can counter you as well, which countering or deflecting attacks will build up you or your enemy's posture damage, depending on who's doing what, right?
Okay. Does your posture damage slowly kind of go away over time?
Yeah, it goes down. There's a little meter.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little meter at the bottom of the screen that starts to fill up. And when it fills up, if yours fills up, the enemy will be able to do like a death blow attack on you, which won't necessarily kill you depending on the enemy, but it will do a lot of damage. And when you're fighting an enemy, if they're blocking, essentially you want to kind of hold back and wait for them to attack and deflect their attacks, and you can do quick counters between deflects.
Okay.
And eventually you'll get to a point where once their posture damage is like full, you'll be able to do a death blow and like pretty much kill them in one hit.
Right.
It's really like intense.
So then with like bosses and stuff, the idea is to pretty much try and get the death blow meter down. And assuming they have like more health than regular guys.
Yeah, tougher enemies and bosses will have like multiple health bars.
Okay.
So instead of your regular enemies, which you can stealth kill in one hit, or through deflecting attacks and countering attacks, building up their posture to set them up for a death blow. Right. Bosses will have multiple health bars, which will be indicated by like multiple circles above their health bar. So like most really tough enemies have at least 2, bosses get up to 3, and so forth.
Dang.
It takes a while to get used to. Like the simple enemies, like I can destroy normal annoying the normal enemies in the game. They're no problem.
Right.
I got them down pat. Deflecting, countering, stealth blowing or stealth killing. Not stealth blowing.
I was gonna say, man, I don't know if this is the right game.
Yeah, I don't know where the stealth blow came from. Anyway, but then you get into these tougher guys, like they'll be like shinobi hunters or like assassins, and they're not bosses.
Right.
They're
not even like mini bosses. They're just
no, they are mini bosses.
Oh, okay.
But they're not full blown like bosses. They'll have 2 health bars. They are much tougher. They have a lot more attacks. They do. There's a system where enemies also do like an unblockable attack. So you can't, like I said, you could sit there just blocking. You can, but you can't, because enemies will have unblockable attacks.
Interesting. Do you have unblockable attacks as well?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
So some of your charge attacks are unblockable. But unblockable doesn't mean you can't counter them.
Oh, it just means can't block
like
it.
These red letters will appear above your head to signify that an enemy is going to do one of these attacks. And depending on what kind of attack it is, if it's a swipe attack, you have to, or sweep attack, you have to jump over it. And then you can do like a little double kick and do some posture damage to them in the face. Or if they do like a thrust attack, you have like a kind of advanced counter where you dodge into the enemy. And basically what you do is you step on their weapon.
Oh, cool.
So like they go to thrust at you and you step on their sword into the ground, and then it opens them up for like a death blow or a lot of damage depending on the enemy. And yeah, so like there's a lot of different like combat maneuvers between counters, movement, your deflections, using the whole premise of the game is you've got this prosthetic limb that can be modified with different weapons like throwing stars, axes, firecrackers, like a cannon and all kinds of stuff.
Right. Okay. So that's kind of
gives you a different level of attacks above and beyond your sword, because you only have the sword. You might get a better sword later, but as far as I know, I think you just have the sword, and your prosthetic, your shinobi prosthetic, is what gives you like different like utility weapons.
Interesting.
And some enemies have like super weaknesses to some of the prosthetic weapons, and most bosses are susceptible to one of the prosthetic tools.
Oh, okay, so you could have a boss that's like susceptible to
like
fire or something, or
like the last boss that I fought was a general, big ass general with a giant spear on a horse,
right?
And the firework prosthetic like shoots all these firecrackers out in like a big sweeping motion in front of you, and the horse would like rear itself, and then opened up the boss for like a bunch of hits. So I just kept using that and. Right. I managed to beat that boss on my first try, which was like, I was amazed. Yeah, I was super amazed because mini bosses I haven't been able to beat in one go.
Wow.
They've taken multiple tries.
I've been hearing that you kind of got to play like very differently than like a Souls game.
Yeah, you can't play it like a Souls game. In a Souls game, you could just dodge, roll, cheese your way all the way through. You can cheese in this, but not so much, because just attacking enemies with your sword, they'll just sit there blocking your attacks.
Right.
So you have to deflect and counter,
is there a stamina meter in this game too?
No. There's no stamina.
Wow.
But when your posture damage meter on you goes to full from them deflecting your attacks or blocking your attacks, you will lose your balance and it will open you up to an attack. But yeah, you could just sit there like dodging nonstop, jumping nonstop. And essentially attacking nonstop. Right. But you will lose your footing if your posture meter gets filled up. And that's kind of like if you just sit there attacking, that will happen.
Right. So is there a similar system to like the Souls games where you get to an area, like is there like bonfires and stuff? Similar,
yeah.
I'm assuming?
They're called idols.
Okay.
So you can rest at them.
And then I'm assuming
it refills your health item that's reusable.
But it also respawns all the enemies, I'm assuming?
Respawns all the enemies. It doesn't respawn the mini-bosses, though.
Oh.
Which is kind of neat.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice.
Actually, I feel like they didn't do that in Neo as well.
Yeah, I can't remember Neo
think
either.
In that they respawn the mini-bosses, because I remember a couple that I had after...
But yeah, the rank and file enemies will respawn, but man, they're easy. Unless you piss off like 4 of them, and then they could F you up pretty quickly.
Right.
I'm really liking it. Like, I'm really enjoying it. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know, this might be... I couldn't get the counters and the parries. Like,
right.
I was just like, I don't get it. But now I'm starting to get it. Like, something clicked, and it's like the last 2 bosses I fought, like I beat them in the first tries, like, and I was like pretty impressed. But I did get screwed. I did just die before coming down to record here. I got into this big area where this like crazy ass giant bull is that has a giant battling ram on its head, and it just like I had no heals and wasn't expecting a boss battle.
Right.
I'm like, I'm just gonna run it. Oh, fog wall. I can't run out of here.
Oh,
and I'm just like, sucks. I just didn't know how to deal with him, and he just stomped my ass. But
so the whole like shadows die twice. I'm assuming. How does that work? Like,
yeah. So what happens is you die
right
in this game. You can revive.
Okay, does that revive you like in that exact spot?
It revives in the exact same spot. It could be in the middle of a boss fight. And you can have multiple charges of that revive.
Okay.
If you revive, though, normally your second one is like not usable, unless you kill like after you kill a few enemies, your second one will be usable. So normally you can't. I haven't seen the ability to revive twice in a boss battle, but you can revive at least once. And then if you die again, then it's like a permanent death, and then you lose half your money that you collected.
Okay.
And you lose some of your experience. I don't think you lose half of your experience. I don't know, because it has a weird mechanic called... what's it called? I can't remember the name, but there's a mechanic and there's this percentage in your menu that you can come back to life and lose nothing.
Oh, okay.
And it's got like,
so it's
right
almost
now,
like a luck percentage, kind of like
yeah,
how lucky are you if you're more lucky?
I think it's called unseen something, but I can't remember the
Unseen
name.
help?
No, I'm just losing the name right now. Anyway, yeah, you won't lose anything. And that number can go up and down depending on stuff going on in the world to like the characters that help you.
Right.
I think a big part of me getting good at this game was I didn't realize from like there's this main area temple where the guy who gives you the prosthetic and where you can upgrade it and where you can upgrade your health, your healing gourd or whatever it's called.
Right.
There's like a nursey chick there. Around the corner from that temple, if you head out of the temple immediately to your right, there's an undead guy. Who lets you practice combat, counters, combos. Like, I didn't know that guy was there, and then I went to him and I practiced a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I get it. Oh, the timing on this is easy. So I'm like, I was doing this all wrong.
So that helped a lot.
Yeah, and you can't die to him. It's just like a training dummy. And
right.
He lets you try all your advanced techniques, and then after you do that and you unlock new skills, he'll let you try new skills, and you can even do like a free for all mode against him where he just does random shit to simulate a real enemy.
Right.
So that really helped me, and I was like, click. And that really
I could see how that would be very helpful.
Yeah, that really moved things forward. I didn't know that guy was there, but they're like a Souls-like game. Mm-hmm. There's hidden vendors, hidden secrets, hidden areas, hidden bosses, hidden buffs, hidden, like, there's just stuff everywhere.
Right.
It's a cool game, man. I really like it. And, people are it got really good ratings from most places. Yeah. But then some of the hardcore Souls people have been very split on it.
That's kind of what I'm looking, like, I'm really noticing that for a lot of people. Like,
I don't think a Dark Souls ninja game would have been a good thing. Because it would have just been more of the same, and they've made 5 of those games. So this is like in essence, but with a new system, right? Which is just, and the whole point of these games is difficult, but once you learn it, it's rewarding because the challenge and overcoming the challenge is the reward. That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what do they got? Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne. Those are all essentially the same. Bloodborne's a little different, but it's still very Souls-like.
Right.
Less so, but you could see a lot of stuff from like the whole like being more aggressive and countering from Bloodborne. You could see is more fleshed out here. As
it sounds like kind of that risk reward of like I'm going to counter and stuff versus like trying to just block everything and it sounds like in Sekiro you need to be a lot more sort of offensive versus like offensive, you know what I mean?
Well, it's a mix, right?
Yeah.
Your offense has to be timed.
And it also sounds like my understanding is you can kind of like stealth kill a lot of enemies as well.
And that's it too. You can go through an area, and if you're good, you can just go through and you can stealth kill most of the enemies. There'll be a couple encounters where you're forced to have combat because there's more
than one enemy,
3 enemies facing each other. Well, I can only stealth kill one of them, and the other 2 are kind of going to notice that I brutally murdered their friend in front of their face.
I mean, some games they don't seem to, but
in some instances, some guys haven't heard me murder guys, but most of the time when they're looking at each other, I don't get away with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really like it. I think it's cool. I'm glad they did something different, because if it was just more of the same, then it would be like more of the same, and then I might just be, whatever, it's just another Dark Souls. But it is, but it isn't.
Yeah,
and it's cool. You got cool movement too with the grappling hook, like you grapple hook around from the roofs and stuff. It's pretty freaking cool, man.
See, like, this sounds to me like they're 3/4 of the way there for a Tenchu game for now. And this hearing a lot of what you're telling me just makes me really want them to make a new Tenchu game.
Yeah.
Because like those games were so good at what they did.
I don't think these guys will ever make a normal game that isn't difficult.
See, but that's the thing. The Tenchu games were difficult. They were incredibly difficult. You had your guy, and like the whole point was like you were supposed to be a ninja assassin that you stealth in and murder that one dude and then get the hell out, right? Like,
I just think every game they make going forward just gets tougher and tougher.
Yeah. So, no, that's cool though, man. Like
Yeah, if you have any interest in...
Did you pre-order this one yourself?
Yeah, I didn't get it given to me.
Okay.
I just got it on PC. I got it myself.
Fair enough. Cool.
No, I was on the fence until like I read reviews and saw videos, and I'm like, this looks freaking cool.
I really like it seems like it's really kind of up my alley with some of the changes that they've made to it. But one of the things that scares me is I'm hearing, like, I was listening to another podcast and one of the people was saying like, yeah, I played for like 3 hours the other day and I made essentially zero progress. And I'm just like, whoa, that's the problem that I ran into with Neo is like there was days where like I would play that game for like 2 or 3 hours or sometimes less, sometimes more, whatever. But my progress in it was so small. Like I was enjoying it. I was having fun, but like moving the story and moving the game forward, it was so slow and methodical and whatnot. And then of course, like I think I would get somewhere and then I would die and I'd have to do it all over again. And like you could very easily jump into that game and it really kind of doesn't respect your time. Like it's very much a like you could come in here and you might do okay for a while and you might actually be able to get to another idol or get to another like bonfire or whatever.
I will say in Sekiro, in most instances, except for when you stumble into a boss fight, you can run away quite easily. Yeah. And you even have an unlimited item that will teleport you back to the nearest idol. So you can always escape. So it's like if you feel like you're in trouble, you can just be like, I'm out.
Right.
You know, you gotta get to safety first, but because your guy is Sekiro, he's super fast. Well, the wolf.
Right.
Someone ends up giving him the name Sekiro in the story. Spoiler alert. But anyway,
thanks a lot. Fuck.
Yeah, you're so fast, and with the grappling hook, you just grapple to a point and take off. And most enemies, they can't grapple over walls and stuff and chase you. So
okay, well, that's kind of cool.
It's pretty easy to escape. So like, if you feel like, oh crap, I'm going to lose all this experience and all this money and whatnot, like every time I've played, and I'm not amazing, I've got a grip on these games. Like I've beaten Dark Souls 1, 2, Bloodborne. Didn't beat bloody Dark Souls 3 because something pulled me away from it, but I'm sure I could have.
Right.
I'm familiar with these games. I know how to play them. So
yeah.
Every session, and maybe I've been getting an hour to 2 hours max. I'm always making it to the next boss.
Right.
Except for a couple sessions where I was purposely farming stuff.
Yeah.
In an area, like I was purposely farming stuff for a bit because it was almost like practice, right? Helping me get better as well.
Yeah. But like that's just the thing that like I ran into with Neo is like I like the game and I like playing it, but it's like, man, like there's definitely times where, you know, I was playing the same area over and over again, which is part of the challenge with these games, you know, is like definitely getting good at the area, learning the patterns and like all
memorization.
That. Totally. But then like the thing is also is that like I played 30 hours of a game and I'm on essentially like the third kind of quote unquote level. You know what I mean? Like where
you could have beaten the other game. Totally.
And it's just like my problem is it boils down to like a time problem that I run into, you know? So yeah, it's like really, it's a game that I keep watching videos about, and it's like
it's hard to play anything else,
right? And that's the other thing, If you walk away and then you come back and you're like, whoa, where was I? What was I doing?
How do I play again?
Oh shit! Like you know, now I'm 3/4 or halfway into the game, or you know, a quarter of the way into the game, and there's like if I was to try and go back and play Neo at this point,
There's actually a mechanic in this game that you can unlock very early too that makes the game harder.
Okay. What?
But you can curse yourself, which makes the enemies tougher, which gets you better drops.
Oh, jeez.
So like you're kind of incentivized to make it harder, but then you dispel it when you come to a boss fight.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of neat. I got a lot of goodies from that. That's part of the reason I was farming as well.
Huh. Good to know.
Yeah, it's a cool game. Check it out if you hate yourself.
Yeah, I'm really.
They're fun.
I'm on the fence. I'm really on the fence because, like,
that old school.
Man, like those Tenchu games. I played the shit out of the Tenchu games.
It's, like you said, it's like that old school Ninja Gaiden too, right? Like that was hard as hell, but it's super rewarding.
Yeah. I'm on the fence. We'll see.
You either get into them or you don't. They're the type of game that like really it clicks for you or it doesn't. And you know, for some people, like you said, the time thing, beating your head against the wall just to like find the beauty in a game can be very difficult when there's so much stuff going on. But
yeah, well, and that's just like that's the thing for me is it's just hard to find like to justify that kind of time where I'm like, shit, I could have beat another game. Yeah, or whatever, right? So
yeah, I don't have anything. Well, I had Red Dead, but poor Red Dead, like the best game ever, but everything else keeps pulling me away.
One might argue something else about that, but anyways,
it's one of the best rated games on Metacritic. Anyway, Dane, let's get into what you've been playing, or not? We were just in what you're playing, man.
We've been what you've been playing for a while now. We should get into the news, eh?
Our news and stuff. The news. Borderlands 3, we already knew it was teased before both of us even left.
Was that even a tease at that point? When you put up a sign? Like,
they pretty much said Borderlands 3 was coming without saying Borderlands 3. So at PAX East, Gearbox had a panel. They revealed Borderlands 3. This story comes from, I think I got the IGN story here. Probably. The release date has been announced. It leaked. I think it was supposed to get announced like, I don't know, in a couple days, or if not today or tomorrow, but it had already leaked earlier, I think through retail sites. I don't know how. It is coming September 13th. There's a bunch of different stupid versions, like with every video game. Normal,
oh my gosh, yeah, deluxe, the $250 diamond loot chest collector's edition.
Yeah, anyway. Featuring a functional retractable lid, this chest is perfect for storing your real-world loot.
Oh, God. So apparently there's going to be 4 classes now? So new Vault Hunters. Well, I watched the original, like the first announced trailer.
Did you watch the trailer that released today?
I haven't watched that one. No.
Okay, it's not. I just think it's a shorter, more concise trailer. The second one.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
It looks better for some reason. When I saw the original trailer, I'm like, I don't know how I feel how this looks. Maybe I was looking at a bad stream of it. But the trailer today, I'm like, okay, this looks a lot better.
It, to me, just looks... I mean, art style-wise, it looks like Borderlands 2, just slightly crisper. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we'd have to see them both side by side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was excited because I have had a lot of fun with Borderlands 2. We used to play a lot of it, me and the boys, on our boys' night. And we'd have 4 of us playing because it was 4-player multiplayer.
Yeah.
It was good times. This looks promising. It's, it's a super teaser. They're going to have gameplay. It's fast cuts, hard to see what's new.
Yeah.
They're going to have some gameplay, like proper reveal. I think they said late April or early May.
Okay.
So we'll get to see more. I don't know. It looks cool. But at the same time, I'm like, I hope it's more than just a new Borderlands 2. Like, that they've added new systems, or they've added more depth, or they've added, like,
because, I mean, I always kind of felt that, like, Borderlands 2 was, like, it's funny, because I played probably the most Borderlands 1. And then Borderlands 2 came out, and, like, I played a bunch of Borderlands 2, but I just felt like it was so similar in a lot of ways to Borderlands 1. Like, I don't know. And then, of course, the pre-sequel came out.
Yeah, which was made by a different studio, but
right,
it was more of the same.
Yeah, like they've all felt very samey, in my opinion.
Maybe it's been long enough, though.
Maybe.
It has been quite a few years, so...
It's true. When was the other one? Like 2012?
I am cautiously optimistic. I'm excited and I'm not excited all at the same time because like I didn't see anything that was like, oh my god, that's effing amazing.
Right.
The new trailer that dropped today, which is linked in the show notes, I feel like it's just a better trailer than the original one they showed.
I'll have to check it out because I watched the first one and I was like, okay, yep, we're getting another Borderlands.
Also,
That's
to
cool.
that panel, there's a Borderlands remaster, which is just like, why?
Wait,
I know why.
Didn't
Cash
they
grab.
just remaster it?
No.
I thought they just re-released that game with like HD upgrade or whatever.
It's coming in April.
Weird.
Yeah, I guess it's... Yeah, literally, I guess it's just like a texture pack.
Huh.
I don't know. Anyway, they announced that as well.
In case you haven't had
April 3rd. Oh, I guess that's technically out today.
There you go.
Or by the time you read this. I don't want to play the first Borderlands again. I don't know. That just kind of reeks to me like, cash grab while we got everyone excited about Borderlands. I don't want to play the first Borderlands again.
Yeah.
So we had some Borderlands news.
Cool.
Came out of PAX. Like, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if... I'm hoping this game is good. That's all I have to say. I hope this game isn't rushed because of all the BS that's been going on around Gearbox the last little while.
Yeah, there's been some weird stuff, that's for sure.
Do we want to talk about this next story?
Well, long and short of it, Valve is saying that it plans to fix Anthem. Artifact. Artifact. Valve is going to help
Valve
EA
to fix Anthem.
Yes. There you go. No, they're saying that there's some issues with Artifact and that they are working to fix the game, and they're closely examining game design, the economy, the social experience, etc., and they essentially want to make it better. And that's kind of what they're getting at.
There's less than 500 people playing this game at any given moment.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody is listening and they want to play it, I have 2 codes that I will gladly give you, and you can play it.
I gave my codes away.
I have 2 codes if people are interested. Just message me either on Twitter or on the Discord and be like, yo, I want to play some Artifact, and I will give you the game for free.
We talked about it at PAX. I just seems so freaking complicated. I was just like,
it's not for me. I knew it wasn't for me.
Hearthstone was immediately like, this is fun. This is easy to comprehend. And I enjoyed it. Like in my first game, I enjoyed it. When I played Artifact, I felt stupid. Like, what is wrong? What am I not getting? Why am I bad at this? And I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like, this thing's like playing itself. So much shit going on. I have no clue. And just like, I just felt bad and dumb. So anyway.
No, that's
fair.
It's
good news if they fix it.
Yeah.
Remember that douchebag who swatted someone over a freaking Call of Duty match and ended up getting a father of, I think, 2 or 1?
Is that the one that the guy got shot by the cops?
Yeah, he got killed by the cops.
Mm-hmm.
That douchebag is going to jail for 20 years.
Good.
Yeah, fuck him. Rotten hell.
Yeah, like, absolutely. You make a false emergency call that then turned into a clusterfuck that got somebody murdered, then
I hope
you deserve that.
This is going to set a precedent to these douchebags who do this shit to streamers, to other people online, to random people. Like, F off, man. If you do this shit, you're going to jail. This is bullshit. It's a waste of everyone's time, let alone these kids don't have a dad anymore because some random weirdo fucking stranger off the internet.
Yeah.
Like, how bullshit is that? That's infuriating. So, yeah, F this guy.
Yeah.
Good. He's going to get freaking swatted in prison, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Sega is going to release the Sega Genesis Mini on September 19th. This is like the in-house version as opposed to like the 50 different versions of shitty licensed ones. So this is, in quotation marks, going to be the good Sega Genesis Mini.
Right. Because they've done such a good job of licensing it out to other people and making sure that the quality of those is up there.
Sega's handling the emulation and the interface and stuff on this, so I have some faith. If you're going to buy one of these mini ones, this is the one to buy.
Yeah.
There are some good, awesome games on it.
I'm really bummed out that they're not releasing the 6-button controller, though.
Yeah, the Japanese one has 6-button. You can buy the 6-button official. You can buy 6-button official controllers right now for $20. So
but
that are USB.
Come on.
Yeah, it should have came packed with it. Honestly, it's kind of lame that I would get the Japanese version just because of that, but I don't know what the OS is going to be like, so maybe closer to release.
You don't speak Japanese?
Yeah, well, it could be all English, right?
So far, I won't lie. Some of the games that they have announced for this, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I could easily get them on my RetroPie, but I have all the other stupid systems, so I feel like I have to get it. Even though I don't need it.
I might get this.
Someone was saying on our Discord, I think it was Cheeks, mentioned that, they already have collections with all these games. From what I hear online, the emulation on those collections is terrible. Like, there's a lot of, like, bad latency. Like, they're not good emulation on those collections.
Yeah.
I haven't personally used them. I just read...
actually own one of those on my Steam.
It was Digital Foundry. The guy who does all the Digital Foundry stuff.
Right.
He said the emulation on the collections is bad. So if he says they're bad, they're bad. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, they've got, which is funny because they got M2, which is the developer behind the Sega Ages collection. They're the ones that are creating the software for the device. So...
Yeah, the @games units are the ones that are really
those
bad.
ones are really bad.
Those are the ones that exist now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sega's heard the complaints, so that's why they're having more of a hands-on on this. So, anyway, whatever.
Well, hey, man, with a lineup of, like, Altered Beast, Castlevania Bloodlines, Comic Zone, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Gunstar Heroes, Shining Force, Sonic the Hedgehog, Space Harrier 2, and the original Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah, and that's
already
a quarter.
Is pretty sweet.
That's a quarter of the games that are going to be coming to it because it's going to have 40.
Right. So, I mean, as long as there's a few other ones that I can think of off the top of my head that are going to be also coming, like this could be a pretty sweet collection.
Yeah.
And I mean, I liked my Genesis a lot, so...
I borrowed a Genesis.
Really? You didn't own one?
No, I never owned one proper. I was a Nintendo kid.
I was a video game kid. I played whatever the video games were on, man.
Yeah, well, I was younger, so...
So was I.
You were way younger, but...
Yeah.
That was console wars, man. That was like the middle of the console wars.
Yeah.
Valve teases new VR headset. More info coming in May. I think this leaked on a Steam store page, I believe.
Oh, wow, okay.
What was the name for this stupid thing? Valve Index.
Oh, jeez.
So I don't know why they just don't. We know what it is, what it looks like. Just why wait another freaking month? Obviously,
maybe they're trying to finalize some stuff and they weren't ready yet.
Yeah, they must have an event plan, maybe. Anyway,
Yeah.
but this is... Let's not get confused. Valve has technically a VR headset, the Vive.
Yeah, the Vive is...
But that is made by HTC.
Right, but wasn't that like a collaboration between the two?
Yeah.
Of them? Like, that was my understanding.
So I guess this is just Valve's straight-up headset. But is this a wireless headset? Is this a PC headset? Is this a standalone headset? I guess those are the questions we will find out in May.
Interesting.
So, yeah, new headsets from Oculus, new headsets from Valve. So, clearly the PC VR space, though some people are like, PSVR is the only successful VR. Clearly, those guys wouldn't be making new headsets if they weren't making money.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to point out, just before we dive too far ahead here, the Borderlands 3 is going to be an Epic Games Store exclusive on PC.
I forgot to mention that.
That's
for 6
months. Kind of a big deal, yeah. But yeah, that was what I was going to say. But only for 6 months, so it will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store until April of 2020. which is kind of interesting. So
I also read that it's apparently going to support cross-platform co-op play.
that would be rad.
Whether that's between just PC and Xbox or PC and PS4.
That would be really rad.
Maybe not Xbox and PS4. Either way, that would be rad.
Because at least that way I could play with my friends on consoles.
Yeah, I hope that gets here sooner than later. If it doesn't happen this gen, it's got to happen the next gen. Enough of this BS. I don't want to buy the game on two systems. I want to play the best version and be able to play with my friends regardless of where they are.
Exactly.
Whether they're on a Switch or an Xbox or a PS4 or on PC with me.
Yeah.
The Elder Scrolls Blades Journeys.
Hey, we played that game at PAX last year.
Yeah, we did play it at PAX. I got a message saying, hey, this game's available to install. I'm like, sweet, I'm going to install it. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to play. And it's like, oh.
iOS only?
No, it's on Android. It's like, make sure your notifications are on as we're letting people into the games. I can't remember the exact freaking message.
Early access, essentially?
Yeah, but it's like, why let me install it if I can't freaking play it? I'm going to tell you exactly what this stupid effing screen said. I was so annoyed. I'm like, sweet, because I signed up to be notified. I signed up for early access.
Yeah.
All this BS, and it's just like, da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, oh, apparently there's a download, and I'm able to get in now. But a few days ago, I couldn't play it. So I guess I'm going to be able to play it now. Maybe I was getting mad for no good reason. Or you'll be able to download it. What's that?
I said, or that, or you'll just be able to download it.
Yeah, I guess they've just been rolling it out in stages. But clearly the first couple days I couldn't play it. I just got a screen saying, keep your notifications on and we'll let you know when you can play.
Thanks for nothing, Bethesda.
Yeah, you jerk person who wants to play our game.
I know.
I don't know, it's doing something. This is really good radio here.
Yeah.
I just downloaded a gig in oh yeah, I'm able to play now.
There Sweet. You go.
Well, maybe try playing it if you're signed up for that. It's cool. It seems like a neat game. I won't be able to report on it until next week. So
yeah. So apparently Best Buy leaked a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Best Buy Canada.
Ooh.
Apparently. They got to. I don't know if it's Best Buy Canada. Oh, it says U.S. retailer.
I was going to say, it looks like the U.S. one.
I saw a post. Oh, okay, never mind. I saw a post on someone on the internet who made fun and said it was Walmart guy from Walmart Canada leaked.
Oh, right, because of the giant leak from last year at E3. Right.
From Walmart Canada. Yeah, never mind. I'm getting confused with bad jokes. Someone went online and said it was Walmart Canada guy moved over to Best Buy and did another leak. So take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. I think it was it Wario64? Or maybe he spotted it and shared it so it blew up. But apparently some employees shared we got Persona 5 Switch, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Legends of Zelda, A Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
And was there anything else? They were in the Best Buy database.
Interesting.
Normally stuff doesn't get in there if it ain't coming out. So,
well, keep your eyes peeled. Maybe those are coming. Maybe
there's a Persona 5 event on April 25th.
Right.
They're going to have more information. They did announce the Persona 5 Royale last week or the week before. But that was only PS4, and people were pretty upset considering.
Of course they are. They're people, and they have to get upset about it.
I want Persona 5 on Switch. Come on. It came out on PS3. It can come out on Switch.
Even
though I think a PS3 is still more powerful than a Switch.
Or pretty similar to it.
So, yeah, the internet blew up. People were pretty freaking excited. So, I guess only time will tell. The leaker and the sources and the history of these types of leaks seem to be pretty reliable. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, though, that's interesting.
Didn't they do a remake of that for 3DS?
They have A Link Between Worlds. I don't think they ever did a remake.
Well, I thought A Link Between Worlds was A Link to the Past with some extra content, though.
No, it is a different game.
Really?
It heavily borrowed from Link to the Past, but it was a very different. It wasn't a remake in any sorts. It was a different game.
All right.
Yeah, the Metroid Prime Trilogy has been rumored for a really long time to be coming. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's cool. Switch owners unite. Epic Games, Tim Sweeney says the Epic Store will keep snagging exclusives. Out of GDC was last week. Lots of games coming to Epic. People are mixed about it. Happy, not happy. I think most people are happy that devs are making more money. People who aren't happy are just upset about having to install another freaking launcher, which is like big deal. It's a freaking piece of software. It's not like a big barrier to entry. I guess the only complaint,
people, though,
the only complaint I would have about the Epic Game Store is that it just doesn't. It's not there feature wise,
right? But I mean, it's new. I mean, when Steam came out, it wasn't there feature wise.
November or December?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was it like around the Game Awards? Like it had been around, but not as a proper store with anything besides the Epic stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think in December or whatever, they kind of announced
that's like
it
when
at the Game
Hades
Awards
came out, and
yeah,
they started giving stuff away for free, which they still are. I don't know what game they're giving away free right now, but they're giving something away every 2 weeks.
I don't know. I've been like constantly going there and downloading all these things to my account because why the hell not?
Yeah, exactly. Why the hell not?
Right now, it's The Witness. Sorry. Currently, right now, as I'm speaking, Oxenfree is. But it is only
free
till tonight at midnight. And tomorrow, it's The Witness. Mm-hmm. So from April 4th to the 16th, it's The Witness that's going to be free. So there you go.
I have it installed. I think I've launched it once every couple of weeks to get the freebie, and that's it.
I don't even launch it. All I do is log on to their website and add the freebie to my account.
Guess you can do it that way.
I haven't even installed. I haven't even installed the launcher yet. So
yeah, I have it because I was playing Fortnite, but I don't know. I haven't played Fortnite in ages.
Yeah, because Slime Rancher was one of their free ones that was out a little while ago.
I think I got that one.
That one was actually one that I was interested in playing. So
moving along, PlayStation news: Driveclub shuts down in 2020.
Not
and is no longer on sale after August 2019. I'm actually quite surprised that this game actually still sells, if it sells. This game was a disaster when it came out.
I don't know if I'd call it a disaster. Well, that game did certain things really well, but and other things really bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was broken for months
because the online portion of it.
Yeah, because it was so many online systems. They just fell apart.
Yes. Now I'm remembering that part of it. It's just sad. That game. So I probably told this on the show before, but that game has tracks based on so there's a track. Or I don't even want to call it a track because it's not really a track, but it has a stretch of road that I kid you not is in Lillooet where I grew up. They even call it the Seton something or other, and it's you come flying out of the mountains, you drive past Seton Lake, you come down the hill, and then they've actually made some changes to the way it actually works in real life. But man, when you drive the top portion of that road, it is like I've driven that portion of that road 100 times driving into Lillooet growing up, and it's crazy.
You have flashbacks?
Yes. And the other thing is that they also did I'm amazed because this studio is out of freaking the UK. So I don't know how somebody on their team must have known about these roads. But the other series of roads is actually the Fraser Canyon. On my drive from where I live up to where my father lives, there's a stretch of road called the Fraser Canyon, and it's all along the Fraser River. And there's 2 other stretches of road in Driveclub that are based on stretches of road in the Fraser Canyon. And I looked it up because I thought I was like taking crazy pills. And I looked it up, and sure enough, those 3 stretches of road are all based on those like real life places. And I was just like, holy shit, that's crazy. So that was cool about that game.
Yeah, it was a PlayStation Plus game too.
Yes.
A year after it launched, when it was supposed to be a launch title.
There was something about the way that it felt in that game to jump in a car and go for a drive that they absolutely nailed. There was other aspects of the game that I didn't like as much. Like the actual racing part I didn't feel was as good, and like there was other stuff, but like they absolutely nailed a certain part of that game that's a bummer that they kind of couldn't sort of get it together for the rest of the game, if you will. But yeah, anyways. She's shutting down in 2020.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm surprised that, honestly, it's still around considering how bad it was. But not an April Fool's joke. R-Type Final 2 was announced for PS4 on April 1st. Unfortunately, a lot of people thought it was a joke.
And of course they would, because it's on April 1st.
They're like, no, it's not a joke. It's really coming. So I liked R-Type back in the day.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of that shooter. It was like, I remember playing it in the arcades. What are arcades, old man? Well, that was places where people used to play video games in public.
Let me tell you about...
Kind of like streaming, but you had to go there and actually look at the stinky people. In a real physical place.
Yeah.
R-Type was like one of those classic arcade shooters, and it was like, oh, it's so cool. Iconic music. Anyway, yeah, there's a new one coming for PS4. Not an April Fool's joke.
Fair enough, man.
PlayStation Store now offers refunds on pre-orders and, in quotation marks, faulty content. I guess apparently if stuff doesn't work and is super buggy, you got a certain amount of time to ask for a refund. This news was announced on April 1st. Again, also not an April Fool's joke. I guess people complained because if you pre-ordered something months out and wanted to cancel it, you couldn't.
Right, yeah.
And apparently if you don't, up to 2 weeks if you haven't played something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about time. That's good.
Seems kind of ass backwards. I think everyone else was kind of there with that. So good on them catching up. Speaking of PSN, we didn't talk about it last week, but Sony stopped selling digital game codes on online stores, or any stores for that fact. So
I saw that.
You could go to Amazon, which I have done a few times, and say I want Red Dead Redemption PS4.
Right.
Quite often I would go to Amazon.com, the American site, and buy it there if I wanted a game digitally. I do it quite a bit with Xbox games.
Yep.
And Switch games. I do it because if I buy the digital version of the game on the US stores, I save $10 to $15 depending on what the currency is doing that day in exchange rates.
Yep.
And taxes are different too. So
right. Yeah.
So I would take advantage of that. So now I can't. People were have been trying to figure out, well, what are they doing? Clearly, they're just bringing it in-house so they make all the money and don't have to supply codes to other retailers. No, they're just getting rid of the middleman.
Right.
Clearly, is the easiest explanation. There's no other reason why you would do this. Except for bringing everything in-house and making sure that you make all the money.
Well, of course. I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Some people were upset about that. I'm not angry, but I am annoyed because I would take advantage of that. And now I won't be able to. Public service announcements. If you're a Twitch Prime member, this is a really cool freaking deal they got going on. If you're a Twitch Prime member, you can get a year of Nintendo Switch Online free. It is kind of a two-step process.
Yeah, this is a little bit dirty. I'm not going to lie.
You get 60 days up front, and then as long as you're a Prime member for another 2 months, or is it 3 months? Then you get the other 9 months of the year.
So you sign up and you get 3 months.
Yeah.
You sign up and you get 3 months, but you have to put your credit card in there so that after the 3 months, if you it will auto sign up again. Like it will auto pay.
It'll auto renew your subscription.
Exactly. So you have to remember after you sign up that in 60 days, so long as you're still an Amazon Prime member, then you can hit the button again to claim your additional 9 months.
Yeah.
For free.
So if you already have a subscription, like for me, I already had a subscription. It added 3 months to my existing year, which doesn't expire until September. Well,
right
now December.
Now December. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's like a perk that everyone will use as opposed to just a game you may or may not never play and add to your queue.
Right.
While we're on Nintendo Switch Online, apparently they're going to be adding Punch-Out, Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels, and there's something else. Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels, Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream and Star Soldier all coming to the Switch Online service next week, April 10th. They're doing a good job adding games to that service. There's like tons of games on there now.
Yeah, there are a lot.
I want them to add Super Nintendo games, and then it'll be amazing.
Yeah, I actually just signed up, so I'm actually kind of excited to check it out.
I was playing Super Mario Brothers 2 on our trip.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's it for PSAs. Free for all section. I do have something quick before you get into what you're talking about. I started watching The Office.
The original? The British?
American one. I've seen the British one because the British one's really short. It's like only like 2 seasons or something, maybe 3. There's not a lot of episodes.
Not even. There's only like technically 2 seasons, and they're only like 6. I think it's actually only like 6 episodes.
I've seen that one.
Like that.
There's not a lot of episodes. Now I started watching the American one. It was Steve Carell. I'm on halfway through season 2.
Okay.
That show's really freaking good.
Wait, have you never watched it before?
I've never watched it before. I've seen bits. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never actually watched it.
Oh, dude, yes.
It's so freaking good.
The show's amazing.
It is so good.
I'm honestly kind of blown away that you have never watched it before.
It's so funny, man.
Kind of boggles my mind. Yeah, that show is amazing.
It is amazing.
And it still holds up surprisingly well.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely does.
Some of the jokes are a little bit like, oh, that's maybe not so funny anymore. But
yeah, some of the stuff in this Me Too era we live in.
Yep.
Might be a little much for network TV. Well, it's not on TV anymore.
Yeah.
But like some of the, he is so goddamn cringy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
painful.
It's so painful.
Oh, yeah. That's why my wife doesn't like that show, is it's too awkward for her. She hates it. I watch it and she's like, this is stupid. Nobody would be like this. There's no way. You would end up in jail. And she cannot do it.
Or it's just mind blowing that no one says anything.
Yeah. There's like,
some people do say stuff to him.
Totally.
Most of the time, everyone just like eye rolls.
Yeah.
And just sits there and like partakes in the punishment.
Oh, it's cringy.
In reality, I feel like someone would like punch them in the face or just like, what are you talking about, you idiot? Shut up.
Well, he wouldn't be the boss, first of all.
He absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like he would have got fired like instantly.
And that's the funny story. Like the HR guy, Todd.
Yeah.
He pretty much tells him to F off anytime he shows his face. And it's like, that guy could just get you fired at any point for everything you've done every day that you're at work.
It's so rough. It's
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Good series. Anyway.
No, that show's amazing. I'm amazed.
It's amazing.
It took you this long, but
I'm amazed that I haven't freaking watched it either.
But hey, you're watching it now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
You're reading comics. You said on your
Dude,
trip.
I started I ended up purchasing through Comixology the entire Blackest Night. And then I went through
DC, right?
It is. It's a few years old now. There was 2. I purchased both of them. There's Blackest Night and Brightest Day. So Blackest Night comes first, and then Brightest Day comes after. Mm-hmm. These were kind of like DC events that I believe led up to the New 52 in like the kind of early 2010s, if you will. The early teens. And there's like a ton of I'm amazed. Like, I went through and I figured out all of the Blackest Night, so all the side comics, all the Prelude comics. Like, I got the whole bundle. And so, like, I've been reading all of the Prelude stuff, all the comics leading up to Blackest Night, essentially. And I've actually just finally, like, there was probably 15, almost 20 comics leading up to the Blackest Night, like, actually starting. And then I've been reading, there's, like, I found a list online where it's, like, it shows sort of the best way to, like, read, okay, there's Blackest Night issue 0, and then there's, like, Green Lantern, Blackest Night issue 1, and, like, all the kind of, like, the best way to kind of read it to get the story and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, that is wild. It's a lot, and I don't expect anybody to be as much of a giant Green Lantern nerd as I am, and to get into all that. But, like, man, as a Green Lantern nerd, oh, it's fucking good.
Yeah, like, I put in Blackest Night in Google, and it's like one of the first results, like, Blackest Night reading order.
Exactly. It's, like, huge. And it's massive. There's, like, there's so many comics. Like, where is it? So there's, like, 74. Ooh. So there's, like, 74 comics that are sort of, like, so, like, for example, Green Lantern issue 43 is, like, the prequel to Blackest Night issue 0. And then Blackest Night issue 1, and then you're supposed to read, like, Solomon Grundy issue 7, and then Batman and Superman issues 66 and 67 slot in there. Like, this is what I mean, right? And then, like, there's another couple that happen, and then
do all these books come in this digital package you bought?
I went through and I made sure to buy all of them.
Oh,
so there was there's like
super sale or something, or
yeah, there was like a big sale that was a while ago that happened that they did. Yeah, and like, I was lucky because Blackest Night is, like, you can get it as a big compendium, essentially, which is what I did. So it had all of the actual, like, Blackest Night issues 1 through whatever all included, and then it also included a bunch of the Prelude stuff. But, like, the Prelude stuff, there's what is this one?
It's like all the little snippet stuff in between.
So, well, there's the Prelude stuff, and it is, like, Green Lantern issue 29 through 42, and those are Secret Origins part 1 through 7, and then there's a whole Rage of the Red Lantern stuff, and then Agent Orange stuff that all happens, and that's all preludes to the Blackest Night. And then there was a whole other thing with the Green Lantern Corps books that all happened from, like, issues 33 to 38, and those were all preludes to the Blackest Night as well. And then there was 3 issues of, like, Blackest Night Tales of the Corpse, and those were all also preludes. So, like, you get the idea that, like, I essentially have just finished the Prelude stuff, and I've only gotten into, like, the first couple episodes or issues of the actual Blackest Night in full. But man, is it wild, because it's like, I could totally nerd out on this for hours. It's rad, but
no, we don't have time for that.
The gist of it is essentially there was the Green Lanterns, and everybody knows, like, they have their power rings, right? And they use the power of green, and that's the power of will, and that's, like, how they get their powers. Well, in the Blackest Night, it starts splitting off in all of these other different things where, like, there's the power of fear, which is the yellow rings. They start having, like, so there's the yellow ring, which is the Sinestro Corps, and those guys use the power of fear and the yellow ring. But then, as the Blackest Night goes on, there's the power of rage, and they create, like, a red ring, and, like, those guys use the power of rage, and then there's a blue rings, and there's white rings, and there's purple rings, and indigo rings, and it's like, so all of the colors of the spectrum have all essentially split off, and they've created their own power rings and power sources, and, like, they work together and against each other, and, like, it's wild. And this is all happening alongside the fact that there are the black rings, which are death, so there's like this super badass situation that happens, and it essentially creates the black rings, and it starts resurrecting like superheroes in the universe at the time, because this is, again, this is quite an old comic at this point. But like in the comic at the time, Superman is dead, Batman is dead. Like there's a whole bunch of like big superheroes that had all passed away, like they'd all died. And the Black Ring of Death actually starts resurrecting them as Black Lanterns, and they start coming back as not good people at all. And meanwhile, the Green Lantern Corps and stuff are trying to figure out how they're going to stop it. It's wild. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy.
So that's like I said, I was on the airplane and I was like, I started getting into all that, and it's just like, holy balls. I went down such a rabbit hole, but it is so awesome. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be spending some more time
for a while.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's
that was
so
like
many
10
issues.
years ago.
Yeah, so
2009.
That one started in 2008, and then the Blackest Night stuff happened, and then Brightest Day was also another very big. I think there was like 100 and there's around 100. I can't remember exact numbers, but there's around 100 issues of Brightest Day between like the actual Brightest Day and all of the surrounding like Green Lantern ones and the Green Lantern Corps and the Justice League comics and the Flash comics and like all the kind of surrounding comics that also went into it. So it was also another really big event. But like, they kind of go hand in hand. You kind of got to read the Blackest Night for all the backstory that happens before you read Brightest Day. So
yeah.
But yeah, so
cool.
Nerding out on comic books hard. It's awesome, and I'm loving it. So,
did you buy your tickets to Endgame?
I have not yet. I have not.
Man.
I need to.
I bought tickets for opening weekend.
Yeah.
We go this Sunday because I happen to work this Saturday, which is lame.
Ooh, that does lame.
But yeah, I'm super stoked. Their website, it's like in Canada here, Cineplex's website, it wouldn't work on any of our PCs, laptop, desktop, but
really?
the mobile app worked.
Oh, okay.
They were just getting hammered, but for whatever reason, the mobile app was working, but the PC side was no go.
Huh.
So yeah, a bunch of us are going, which is kind of cool.
Sweet.
Super
That's awesome.
Stoked. And Game of Thrones starts in a little while. Oh man, this month is a very geeky month.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Dane,
yo,
welcome back. We missed you.
Thank you.
Episode 198 is in the gigabits, I think, unless you got anything else to add.
No, I think that's it, my friend.
The gigabits, the megabits, the hard drives, the internet, the information superhighway, and your ear holes, of course. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
And I think I covered housekeeping the top show. Remember, share, like, subscribe. We're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. It's Geekoholics everywhere.
All around you.
Spread what?
All around you.
Yeah. Surround sound. Kind of like last week's podcast.
Don't record in surround, dude. I thought we talked about this.
Oh, by the way, I fixed that and re-uploaded the proper version.
Okay.
Yeah, some people were complaining. Cough, Brian, cough. Anyway.
Such whiners.
I fixed it. It was my bad because when I recorded it, because the way my mic works, you can. Yeah. We were on opposite. We were
sides.
like.
Yeah.
We were on the left and right sides of my mic, so it picks up left and right, and I just totally forgot to join the audio when I exported the MP3. But anyway.
Fair enough.
That's it. Episode 188. Until next week, my friends, I'm going to say we are out.
Catch you guys later.
Peace.